This Hatha practice is focused on opening up the hips and with the intention of balancing the sacral chakra just below the navel and about 2 to 3 inches in. It's this energy center that houses our sense of creativity, our sense of passion, and in my opinion, it's where our inner child lives and plays. So balancing this chakra, this energy center in the body, is about bringing in a sense of play, which is super important, especially right now when it may be a little bit more difficult. So I hope you'll find a little bit of playfulness in this practice today as we flow with the element associated with the sacral chakra, which is water. So all you'll need for today is your mat, and if you'd like, a blanket on top just for some extra support for the joints. We'll start on our backs. Bring the soles of the feet together. Allow the arms to be at your sides, palms face up, or maybe hands to the hip creases, maybe the low belly. Lengthen through the back of the neck. So there's a gentle tuck of the chin down towards the chest. And close the eyes. Breathing slowly in through the nose and out through the mouth. You can take the feet further away if there's a lot of tightness in the hips, maybe some sensation in the low back. So creating more of a diamond shape with the legs versus coming into a traditional Supta Baddha Konasana with the feet closer in. Allowing the knees to get heavy as they release with every exhale further towards the floor. And if you aren't feeling that release happening, visualizing it. The color associated with the sacral chakra is orange. Beginning to visualize the color orange at this energy center. What's the quality of the color that you're seeing? Is it maybe a little bit faded or muddy and dark? With every breath, can you breathe in light? And you begin to see this orange color brighten and intensify, clearing any muck, any stagnancy. As you breathe fully into the belly, into the side ribs and back body, can you visualize the breath being breathed into the hips? Sending the spaciousness there that's created on the in-breath. And the release, the letting go that comes with the out-breath. Are you carrying tension anywhere else in the body? In the shoulders, the neck, the jaw. If the teeth are clenched, can you create space between the teeth? Allowing the tongue to relax off the roof of the mouth. Take a few more deep breaths here. Setting an intention for your practice today. Maybe it has something to do with the sacral chakra, bringing in more creativity, more play, more passion. Maybe it's something entirely different. Take your hands to the outsides of the thighs, closing the legs. Bring the knees in towards the chest, hands to the tops of the shins. Begin to make big circles as the knees come apart and back together. Moving nice and slow. Staying soft through the shoulders. You can keep the eyes closed here, or just open them softly. And then switch directions. Keep breathing into the belly and visualize the breath carrying all the way into the hips and pelvis. Bring the knees in towards the chest, really squeeze them in. Maybe give yourself a nice little hug, bringing the forehead up towards the knees. And on an inhale, extend the legs out, reach the arms back behind you, coming into half boat. Exhale, Apanasana, bringing the knees in towards the chest. Inhale, half boat. Exhale, knees in towards the chest. Inhale to open, activating the core already. Exhale, knees come in. Inhale, open. Exhale, bring the knees in. It's hard to talk during these. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And if you need to keep the knees bent here, that's okay too. You can play with bringing the knees just slightly past the hips and then back, making a smaller movement with the legs. Squeeze the knees in, lower the head back down, rock side to side. Breathing deep. Bring the hands to the backs of the thighs and begin to rock front to back. Massaging the spine, bringing in that sense of play. Can we tap into that joy right here, right now? And then come all the way up to seated. Crossing at the shins, Sukhasana. Find a nice tall spine, hands come to the knees. Inhale, send the chest forward, maybe reach the chin up. Exhale to round chin to chest. Inhale, open the chest, seated cow. Exhale, seated cat. Inhale, opening the chest. Exhale to round. Inhale, come back to center, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Come to the fingertips first, maybe wiggling the hips back behind you. Reach the chest forward, almost like you're coming into a cobra pose. Exhale, lowering onto the forearms. Release the crown of the head down. Inhale, walk yourself all the way back up. Switch the crossing of the legs. Hands to the knees. Seated cat-cow one more time. Inhale to stretch through the front body. Exhale to round. Inhale, open. Exhale, pull the navel up and in. Last one, inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, folding inward. Inhale, come all the way up, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Fingertips come forward first. Reach the heart towards the fingers. And then exhale, lowering onto the forearms. Breathing into the back body. Soften through those hips. Let the knees get heavy. Slowly come all the way back up to seated. Bring your feet onto your mat, hip-width distance apart. Bring the fingertips behind you. So option for the fingertips to face forward, or just turn the wrists slightly so the fingertips face out towards the side. Makes it a little bit easier on the wrists. And on an inhale, press into the hands, press into the heels, lift the hips up any amount, dropping the head only if it feels okay for the neck. Press into the heels, lift the hips. Exhale. Lowering all the way down, crossing at the shins, making your way to tabletop. Wrists underneath the shoulders, spreading the fingers out wide, knees directly underneath the hips. You can either tuck the toes or come to the tops of the feet, whichever is most comfortable for your body. We'll start with cat-cow circles, sending the hips all the way back towards the heels. Inhale to come forward. Exhale, sending the hips back. Moving nice and slow. Option to add the neck in, making circles and any other movements in the neck. Switch directions. Come all the way back to tabletop. Step the hands forward just a few inches. Tuck the toes and slowly peel the hips up and back for our first downward facing dog. Pedaling the feet right away. Pressing into all 10 knuckles. Firming the outer upper arms. Keep the knees bent if you need it to find that space in the spine. We don't want any rounding happening. We want the heart to reach towards the tops of the thighs. And sometimes we need a little bit more space if the hamstrings are tight. So bending those knees, welcoming that soft bend. On an inhale, wave the spine forward into your plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, wave it back. Down dog. Inhale, wave forward. Plank pose. Exhale, waving it back. Find a little bit of a wave-like movement in the spine. Moving nice and slow and building heat. Can you feel it? I can feel it. Last one, waving forward. Exhale, waving back. Walk the feet forward towards the hands, forward fold. Keep the knees bent. Grasping opposite elbows, maybe swing side to side. Slowly release and roll yourself all the way up to standing Tadasana, mountain pose. Flip the palms to face forward, opening up through the chest, through the shoulders. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, palms to heart center. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, palms to shins or thighs. Find a flat back, gazes down towards the floor. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, press into the feet, come all the way up, reach up. Exhale, palms to heart center. One more time, just like this. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward. Maybe find a little bit more length in the legs to straighten. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your palms, step both feet back, find your plank pose. I'm going to move back a little bit so I'm not on my blanket. Make sure the hips aren't reaching high, coming into more of a down dog shape, and that the hips are dipping low below the shoulders, but that everything is creating a long diagonal line from the heels to the hips, to the shoulders, to the crown of the head. On your next exhale, find downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts up, bend the knee, heel comes towards the glutes, then open the knee up, stacking the hips. Notice if the weight in that right hand has started to lighten. Can you ground down through both hands as evenly as possible, keeping the shoulders square? And start to make circles with that right knee. Mobilizing that hip joint. And reverse. Breathe. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it all the way through. Lower the left knee. Low lunge. Option to keep the toes tucked or come to the top of the back foot. Your choice. Inhale, lift the arms up, squeeze the inner thighs together. And on an exhale, sinking into the hips a little bit here. Inhale, squeeze the inner thighs again. Exhale, press the hips forward. Inhale, squeezing the inner thighs. So you'll feel kind of a zipping up action as this happens, firming up. And then on an exhale, deepening the bend in that front knee, deepening the sensation in the hips. Inhale to come back up. Tuck the back toes and lift up into a crescent lunge. And pulse. Bending the back knee. Maybe the knee taps the mat. Maybe it's a small movement, just an inch or two up and down. Keep the front knee bent. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, back heel spins down. Find warrior two. Arms reach out. Firm the outer edge of the left foot into the mat as the inner arch lifts. Pulling the belly up and in as you feel the tailbone lengthen down, hips softly lift up. So it's not so much a tucking as it is just finding length through the tailbone, through the back body towards the earth. And as you do that, you'll feel the core begin to turn on. Take one more breath. And on an exhale, bring the arms up overhead as you step the feet, either hip width distance or toes together, big toes together, heels slightly apart. chair pose. Sink the hips down and back. As you reach the fingertips forward, weight is in the heels. Inhale to stand. Exhale, palms to heart center. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bending the knees, sending the weight back. Reach the arms forward, chair pose. Hold here, lower a little bit more. It's okay if you need to use your hands. We'll lower all the way down onto the mat. Bring the shins up, find boat pose. Bring the hands behind the thighs first. Lift the chest up, find length through the front body. And hold and breathe. Maybe extend one leg, one arm, maybe both legs, both arms. Lift through the chest. On an exhale, lower halfway down. Inhale to rise. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. It's okay if you bend the knees here, if you're here. Ooh. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. 5 more. Inhale, lift. You got this. You're doing great. I'm losing my balance. We all are working hard. 3 more. Whew. My abs are burning. Last one. Come all the way up. Cross at the shins. Plant the palm, finding your downward facing dog. Breathe it out. Nodding the head no. And yes. Inhale, left leg reaches up and back. Bring the heel in towards the glute. Open the inner thigh up, stacking the hips as best as possible. Keeping the weight even in both hands. And we'll make those circles on this side. Slow it down. And switch. Inhale, left leg reaches up and back. Exhale, step it all the way through, lower the right knee. Either keep the toes tucked or bring the top of the foot onto the mat. Inhale, arms reach up, low lunge. Finding length through the left and the right side body. Finding your breath. Take a moment here. Be grateful for the stillness. And on your next exhale, send the hips forward, deepening the stretch. And exhale, squeeze the inner thighs together. We'll do that a few more times. Inhale, sending the hips forward. Exhale, squeeze it in towards the midline. Last one. Tuck the toes. Lift up into your crescent lunge. Keep that back knee bent as we come into those pulses on this side. Either coming all the way down towards the mat, tap the knee, rise back up, or little pulses. Inhale, lift. Exhale, warrior two, spinning the arms open, spin the back heel down. Keep the front toes facing forward. Knee comes over the middle of the foot so it doesn't knock in. Reach the arms back behind you a little bit to open the chest towards the side of the room. Take one more breath. Feel the strength in this pose. Feel the strength in the legs holding you up. Feel the core activating. Arms active. And stepping forward into your chair pose. Sink the hips down. Take a deep breath. Inhale to stand. Exhale, palms to heart center. Whew. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, sinking back into your chair. Maybe sitting down a little bit lower. Maybe a little bit lower. Coming back all the way onto the mat for those boats. Yep, we're doing it again. So if you'd like to back off a little bit, layer it down, you can bring one toe to the earth and then just switch and work on holding it. If you'd like, you can lower all the way into your half boat, extend the legs. Exhale to rise back up. You create this part of the sequence. Whatever you need right now, whether it's to push yourself a little bit, whether it's to back off and create a little bit more ease, or permission for yourself to take it easy, take it. I'm getting tired, so my form is getting a little sloppy. So that's okay. I'm gonna bring one foot down so I can keep that tall chest. Inhale to rise, bring the opposite foot down. Lift through the chest. Extend both legs and switch. Let's do one more. Well, one more on each foot for me, so two more. Inhale to come all the way up, crossing at the shins. Place the hands down. You can pause and plank or go directly into downward facing dog. Lower the knees. Big toes together, knees wide. Child's pose. Deep cleansing breaths. Take a sip of water if you need it. Maybe rocking the head side to side to massage the brow. Just check in with yourself. Deep breaths in through the nose, side out. Coming out of your child's pose, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Ooh. Inhale, reach the right leg up and back, three-legged dog. Exhale, step it all the way through. Find warrior two as you spin the back heel down. Open up, bending into the front knee. Gaze is soft over the front fingertips. Roll the shoulders down the back. And on an inhale, straighten the front knee. Parallel the feet. Bring the hands to the hips. Heels come in. Toes slightly turned out. And on your exhale, bending the knees, send the weight down towards the earth. Notice if the knees are coming in a lot here, want to keep them in line with the ankles as best as possible. You can keep the hands there if that helps you, or bring the hands to the hips, squeeze the elbows behind you, open through the chest. Release the tailbone down towards the floor. Feel the hip bones lift up slightly with that length in the tailbone. Inhale to stand. Exhale, bend into the right knee this time. Lift the left toes as you come into Skandasana. Option to bring the fingertips down towards the earth as you send the weight back behind you. Weight is in the right heel. Whew. If you can come lower without the heel lifting up from your mat, you can do so. This is as far as I can go. My quads are really tight. And then slowly come to the squat on the other side. Send the weight back into that left heel as you lift the left toes. Hold, and then we'll switch between each side about 4 times. So you can bring the palms together for the switch for a little bit more of core work and leg work, or keep the hands on the earth as you switch over to the right side. Inhale, straighten both legs, switch, squatting into the left side. Switch again. Inhale, straighten and switch. Parallel the feet, release the hands down, forward fold. Lifting the inner arches of both feet, ground down through the outside edges. You can walk your hands further beneath you. And always, if you need to, bend the knees a lot here. Take one more breath. Bring your hands to your hips. Squeeze the elbows together. Pull the feet apart to help you to rise up. We'll come into warrior two on the other side. Bring the left toes to face the back of your mat. And the right toes turn in slightly. Bend into the front knee. Extend the arms out. Gaze is forward. Find your strength in your breath. I know you're probably tired, as am I. But it's the mind that gets tired before the body. Take one more breath. Parallel the feet, straighten the legs. Bring the heels in, toes out. Finding goddess pose, bending the knees over the ankles. And we'll just rock side to side here with the hands on the thighs. Just a little bit. Not so much that the knee comes past the heel, past the toes. And then we'll step both feet up to the top of the mat. Let's shake it out. Whew. Take the feet out wider than shoulder width distance. And then slowly lower all the way down into your yogi squat. Bring the palms together in front of your heart. So I'll actually face you guys. Press the palms together as you press the elbows into the insides of the thighs. So my heels are a little bit lifted from the mat. So I'm going to fold up my blanket that I have here and place it underneath the heels. You can also place a block underneath you to sit on, especially if those hips are tight, but hopefully they're not after this practice. You should be nice and warm now. Closing the eyes here. Breathing into those hips. Coming back to that visualization of the color orange, brightening and growing with every breath in and breath out. Place your hands down, send the hips up, bring the feet back underneath you, hips width distance, forward fold. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. We'll step to the top of your mat. I'm going to reset my blanket here and meet you at the top of the mat. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Step the left leg back, coming into your low lunge once again. This time, walk the right foot all the way out towards the right side of the mat, and the right arm comes to the inside of the leg, finding lizard pose. Option to roll to the outside of that right foot if you'd like to come into a deeper variation. Bend the left knee, bringing the heel in towards the glute. See, my quads are really tight. If you'd like to, bring the right fingertips towards the right foot, the left foot. Really squeeze that heel in. And it's okay if you can't grasp the foot at all, like me today. We're getting there. And slowly release. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee just for a moment to walk the hands all the way towards the left to the back of the mat, coming into your low lunge, lowering the right knee. Walk the left foot all the way out. Neat little trick, right? Coming into lizard pose on this side. Noticing the differences between the left and the right without trying to push or force your body into the same position that you were able to get on one side. Take a few more deep breaths. Begin to bend the right knee, bringing in the heel towards the glute. Reach the left fingertips all the way up and back, reaching for that right foot. It's okay if it doesn't get there. Take one more breath. Exhale, slowly release the leg, release the arm. Tuck the back toes. Walk yourself back, forward, paralleling the feet. Back into your low lunge and come to a seated position. Bring the soles of the feet onto your mat, fingertips behind you, and we'll take a seated figure four. So cross the right ankle over the left knee, flex the right toes a lot here. Press into the hands, lifting the chest towards the leg. And breathe. If this is too intense for you right now, you can always lower onto your back and keep the left sole of the foot grounded, or bring the knees in towards the chest. Take one more breath. And release. Shake out the wrists. And we'll do the other side. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Flex the right toes. Press into the hands. Lift the hips. Shoulder blades come down and together. Take a few breaths. And slowly release. Extend both legs out in front of you. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Few deep breaths in this forward fold, keeping those toes flexed. And if you have a tendency to hyperextend, bring a soft bend into the knees. Slowly roll up and make your way onto your back. Bring the knees into the chest once you get there, rocking side to side. And then bring the soles of the feet back down onto your mat, extending one leg and then the other. Take up space here. Bring the legs out wide, arms out wide. Close the eyes. Come back to the breath. Noticing the changes in the body, in the mind. You worked hard today, so now just rest. You deserve it. Bring your hands to the low belly, this area of the Sacral Chakra. Breathing into this energy center. Feeling the hands gently lift as you inhale and soften as you exhale. Repeating to yourself an affirmation or any words of comfort, of inspiration that you need most right now. I find it's more powerful to choose your own than for me to give you mine, but I'm happy to share. Some that are resonating with me right now are, I am in the flow. I am a creative being who expresses myself with ease. I make time for creativity. I truly believe that every person is creative. It's just a matter of giving ourselves enough time and space to find what that source of creativity is for us. Please stay here for as long as you like. And just when you're ready, bending one knee, then the other, rolling over to one side, pausing here in fetal position, just to express gratitude to yourself and to your body for making it onto your mat today. Slowly press yourself all the way up. Coming back to a comfortable seat. You know you work hard when your hair is a mess now. We'll inhale, take the arms out and up, gathering the energy from our practice. Exhale, palms to heart center, bringing it back into the heart. Close the eyes, take a deep breath in and out. Namaste.